Welcome to the third video on gear drawing, and in this video I'll be showing you how to draw a meshing gear using this question. The question says, a pinion with 20 teeth is to mesh with a rack whose teeth has a pressure angle of 20 degrees and module of 15 millimeters. Take the length of the rack to be 100 millimeters. Our parameters from this question are this. We are given the number of teeth to be 20. We are given the number of teeth to be 20, modules to be 15 millimeters, the pressure angle to be 20 degrees, and also the length of rack to be 100 millimeters. We have already done all these calculations in the previous video, so the link of that video will be in the description of this video, so you can watch it for proper understanding. But just to carry along the calculations, first module, which is the PCD, which is pitch circle diameter all over number of teeth. We made the PCD subject of formula, giving our modules and our number of teeth in the question. The module is 15 millimeters multiplied by the number of teeth, which is 20, which our calculation gave us 300 millimeters. Also, we calculated for the CP, which is pi times modules. Our pi, which is 3.142, multiplied by the modules given in the question, our result gave us 47.13 millimeters. Not forgetting, the CP means the circular pitch. We also calculated for the addendum, and the formula for the addendum is 1 over dp, also equal to CP, which is circular pitch, all over pi. Using the formula for using addendum and circular pitch, which we calculated earlier, addendum is CP, which is circular pitch, all over pi. Our circular pitch is 47.13 divided by pi, which is 3.142, which the answer is 15 millimeters. We also calculated for the clearance, which is abbreviated as CL here. The formula for clearance is CP all over 20, which CP, as we calculated earlier, is 47.13 all over 20, which is the result is 2.356 millimeters, all in millimeters. We also calculated for our addendum, which the formula is addendum plus clearance. Addendum, which we calculated earlier, is 15 millimeters, and the clearance, which we calculated here, is 2.356, which the result gave us 17.356 millimeters. Also, we calculated for the addendum circle, which the formula is PCD plus 2 multiplied by the addendum. Our PCD, which we calculated earlier, is 300 millimeters plus 2 times addendum, which our answer for addendum is 15 millimeters. So the result of 300 plus 2 times 15 millimeters gave us 330 millimeters. We also calculated for the addendum circle, which is PCD, the pitch circle diameter, minus 2 times the addendum. Our PCD, which is 300 millimeters calculated above, minus 2 times the addendum multiplied by the addendum, which is 17.356 millimeters. So the result of 300 minus 2 multiplied by 17.2356 is 265 millimeters. We also calculated for the thickness of teeth, which is CP all over 2. We also got our CP to be 47.13 millimeters. 47.13 millimeters, which is the CP divided by 2, is 23.56 millimeters. That is for the thickness of the teeth. So over here, we highlighted all the parameters which we will be using for the drawing of the rack and pinion gear, which are PCD, which is the pitch circle diameter, the addendum circle, the thickness of teeth, and the pressure angle. We converted them to centimeters, which is we divided all the parameters by 10. 300 millimeters divided by 10 is 30. 330 millimeters divided by 10 is 33. And we did the same for all the parameters here. Over here, we scaled all the highlighted parameters so that it can be able to fit into our worksheet. Our scale we use is 1 centimeter is to 1/3 units. That is, we divided all parameters by 3. Over here, 30 centimeters divided by 3 gave us 10 centimeters. 33 centimeters divided by 3 over here gave us 11 centimeters. We did that for all the highlighted parameters here. So after this, we'll go over to the sheet to draw the rack and pinion. The first step for drawing the rack and pinion is to draw the pinion. First, we draw horizontal and vertical lines which are perpendicular to each other. After drawing these perpendicular lines, recall that all these parameters here are in diameters, so divide them by 2 to obtain the radius. So first of all, we draw the PCD, which is the first circle we draw. The diameter is given as 10 centimeters. 10 centimeters divided by 2 is 5 centimeters. So pick your compass and measure 5 centimeters on your meter rule. Place it at the origin of intersection between these two lines and draw the PCD. This first circle we drew over here is the PCD. The second, we draw our basic circle, and the basic circle is obtained using the pressure angle. First, you place the protractor right above the PCD and make sure it is in line with this vertical line over here. It's perpendicular to the 90 degrees. Our pressure angle here is 6.66. So from 0 we measure 6.66, which is in between 6 and 7. So from here, from the point which we got here, crossing this intersection between this vertical line and the PCD, draw a line. We do the same here for placing it at the origin. Make sure it intersects to avoid errors. Make sure it's in line with the 90 degrees and the 180 degrees. Measure 6.66 degrees, which is our pressure angle, from 90 degrees to the left. 6.6 is in between 7 and 6. From the center, draw a line to intersect. Now from this point, we give us our radius for our basic circle. Pinning at the origin and extend to this point gives us the radius of our basic circle. So we draw our basic circle. The next step is to draw the addendum circle, which is the biggest circle in this drawing, the largest circle. The addendum circle given to us here as 11 centimeters. Recall that this is a diameter, so we divide it by 2 to obtain the radius. 11 divided by 2 is 5.5. So measure 5.5 on your meter rule with your compass. Place it at the center and draw the circle, the addendum circle. Next off, we draw the addendum circle, which is 8.83. Recall that this is also a diameter, so we divide it by 2 to obtain the radius. 8.83 divided by 2 is 4.4. We measure 4.4 on our meter rule. In here, place it at the center. You can see that this is the smallest circle in the drawing. That is the addendum circle. Next off, we'll be drawing the teeth for the pinion, and the teeth for the pinion is obtained from the thickness of the teeth, and the thickness of the teeth is given as 0.78 centimeters. So we measure 0.78 centimeters on the meter rule. 6. We will be drawing the rack over here for this, so let's be using the second quadrant below. So starting from here, cut here, cut the PCD. We are using the PCD to obtain the thickness of the teeth, the circular thickness. So cut here, pin at that place you cut the second place, the second thickness. Continue this step. Now the next step is to draw the flank of the teeth, which are the arcs that makes up the teeth. So using the CP, which is 2 times the thickness of the teeth as calculated earlier. Thickness is CP all over 2, that is CP is 2 times the thickness of the teeth. So from here we get the circular pitch at the 2 times the thickness of the teeth. Now we are drawing the teeth for these 2 points here. We pin here, extend to the basic circle, which is this 3rd circle here. From here, the 3rd circle, pin here, extend to the 3rd circle, cut there. Now pin at that place you cut from the basic circle, that is the 3rd circle. Make an arc, not touching the addendum, just close to the addendum. Now pin at the other place, go to the opposite, cut the basic circle, pin at the basic circle, and make an arc. We do the same thing for this next place. For this next point, we're making an arc for these 2. We're making a teeth, drawing a teeth for these 2 points. Pin here, cut the basic circle. Now pin at the basic circle and make an arc. Same thing here to this other side, draw an arc. We're repeating the process here. Pin here at the PCD, cut the basic circle, pin at the basic circle, and draw an arc. The same thing over here for the opposite. Same process here. The next step will be to thicken the top of the teeth. So pinning at the center, extend to the addendum and thicken the top of the teeth. Same thing here, same thing here. Now, after this, we draw the fillet, which is the reason I said we shouldn't extend this to the bottom, because there will be a fillet here. So it's just a slight curve touching the addendum. Do this for the rest of the teeth. Now, same from the same center, extend to the addendum this time to thicken the bottom of the teeth. Fillet for this, and now we are done with the pinion. Now the next step will be to draw the rack. So for the rack, one thing common between the two machine gears is that the two of the PCD touch each other. Now, if I'm to draw the PCD of this rack, it will be touching the PCD of this other pinion here. You can see that the two PCDs touch each other. The next step will be to draw the addendum. The addendum line, in this case, is a straight line, the addendum line of the rack. Now, the addendum was calculated as 15 millimeters here. So, we took a scale of 1 cm is to 1/3 units. That is, we are to divide the addendum by 3. Dividing 15 millimeters by 3 is 5 millimeters. Also, converting millimeters into centimeters, 5 millimeters to centimeters is 0.5 centimeters. That is dividing 5/10. Let's draw and here. Also, not forgetting, we're given a length of rack to be 100 millimeters. That is 50 millimeters on the right hand side and 50 millimeters on the left hand side. It's 50 millimeters on the right hand side, 50 millimeters on the left hand side. So this will be our length of rack between here and here. So measuring for addendum, which is 5 centimeters, the next we measure for the addendum. Now the addendum is given to us as 17.356. So scaling, we scaled up parameters, so dividing 17.356 over 3, 17.356 divided by 3, so gives us 5.785 millimeters. Not forgetting is in millimeters, so we have to convert to centimeters. So we divide this value by 10 to convert to centimeters. So 5.785 divided by 10 is 0.578. So we measure 0.578 below here, which is our dedendum. 5.7 5.7. Right, the next step will be to draw the racks, draw the teeth of the rack. So to draw the teeth of the rack, we'll be using the PCD, the point from the PCD, we'll be using the thickness, that is from this point here, extend to the next point. This is our thickness of teeth. So we measure the thickness of teeth, cut here. This is our first thickness. Second thickness is here. Third thickness is here. Not forgetting our rack, the length of our rack, which is ends here. So calculating for the thickness over this side, first off, we take the protractor. So to draw the thickness, to draw the teeth of the rack, you place it here at the point of the PCD, the line of the PCD here. But it should be straight. Now our pressure angle, which was given to us as 6.66, we measure our pressure angle to the right, 6.66. Now we draw a line touching this point here and this point. From this other place, this other point where we want to draw the teeth, we place it here, 90 degrees. Now we measure, this time we measure the pressure angle to the left, at 6.66 to the left. Now you draw a point, draw a line from this point at the PCD to this point. Next up, we do the same thing here. Place it at that point, the next thickness of the teeth. Remember, we measure the thickness of the teeth. So place it there. Now this time to the left, 6.66 to the left. Remember, to the top of you're drawing the line to the top, crossing here, touching here, and touching the points. Now place it also at the next point, that is the thickness. Now this time to the left, 6.6 is the pressure angle to the left. Do the same thing for this other side. To the left, now we go over to this other side and repeat the same step from this point, the next point, this point, and so on. So pinning at the next point, this time to the left, 6.66. Pin at the next point, thickness. This time to the right. We pin at our next point. 6.66 to the left. Next point, this time to the right. Same thing over here, to the left. To the right. Now we're ticking the top of the rack, the teeth of the rack. These are the teeth. This is the first teeth. Ticking it. The second teeth ticking. Ticking the bottom of the teeth. And ticking it down to the dedendum. complete this one. This one 6. Now I'm just do let's see. So this is a complete drawing of the rack. This is the rack, and this over here is the pinion. This is a complete drawing of the rack and the pinion. Do well to subscribe, like, and drop a comment on this video. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next video.